Hello everybody, it's Neko here, and in this week's video I'll be showing you how to make these 3 shell DIYs to spruce up your room. I asked on Facebook what I could do with all these shells that I collected over the years, and you guys gave me a bunch of suggestions, so thank you for that. And if you haven't already, don't forget to go over to my Facebook page and like it so you can get some sneak peeks of the next week's craft or video. Anyway, whenever I go to the beach I always bring back jar-fulls of shells. But recently I've been having a massive room clear out and I want to reuse some of the shells I've collected over the years and just turning them into some really nice room decor. The first DIY we'll be making is a shell picture frame. Taking shells of different colours, sizes and types, I began loosely just arranging them around the frame, even using bits of crushed up shell to fill in any kind of gaps. Side note here, I recommend adult supervision if you are using crushed shell and glass because they can be fairly sharp and it can cut. Once the pieces are arranged on my photo frame, I then glued them in place one by one with a hot glue gun. You could also use super glue for this, but I didn't recommend using any kind of slow drying glue like PVA because you kind of want them to stick and stick fast because they're quite heavy objects. Anyway, I let the shells dry, and once it was all done, you should have your very own seaside photo frame. Feel free to add any kind of rope or twine up the sides and just any kind of shells and things you want. You can spray paint any colour, it can be any kind of size and just type of photo frame. Just make it personal to you. The next shell craft I'm going to be showing you guys are these Seashell Charms that you can turn into necklaces, bag charms, or even use them as small paperweights. Mixing some 2-part resin together, I poured in a thin layer into my heart molds before letting that dry. Once that layer was dry, I then placed the whole shells or crushed shells into the little molds and even used things like pebbles as well to fill in some gaps, and then filled up the rest of the mold with resin. Finally, I capped the back with some resin mixed with gold pigment to give them a kind of sea-like backdrop. I then drilled a hole in the tops of mine and added eye pins to them so I could attach them to necklace chains, and if you would like a more in-depth tutorial on how to make these little resin charms, then give this video a thumbs up and I'll try to get around to that. Also, don't forget to head on over to my Etsy store where you'll find some of these guys up for sale already and some other cool resin charms as well. And the final seashell craft I'll be showing you is this little display, which I really think is adorable. It's so simple and elegant and it costs literally next to nothing. Taking a candle holder and some pebbles and rocks I brought, I filled the bottom of the jar up, alternating between the small rocks, the glass pebbles and the larger rocks. Then once I was satisfied, I made sure to leave a few spare rocks on the side so I could later fill in those around the shells. Choosing a handful of my favourite shells, I then arranged them around the glass. I knew that I wanted to have this snail shell in the centre, so I worked the others around the edges and outside, making sure to build up different kind of heights so that you could see each and every shell from whatever angle. Then with any spare rocks I had left over, I used to fill in the empty space or just kind of drop them around the edges a little bit. And that's it! 3 simple and easy seashell DIYs. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment below with any kind of suggestions for any crafty creations, and until next time guys, take care. Bye!